ARESxGOD here, and it's time to talk about low tier god, I mean Frieren. This was such a good and fun episode. I loved the pacing, the timings for it, the flashbacks, and Flamme is an amazing character. Seeing the past there with Frieren and how much Flamme helped her, influenced her and everything, and she basically unleashed Frieren on the world here, and that was such a cool way of seeing their backstory and everything that happened there, and the confrontation between Frieren and Aura. And Aura, I think she made a grave miscalculation, so to say. I love this episode so much, so let's get into it and talk about it. Now, at the start, I really like this scene a bit, that we see the full context of it towards the middle of the episode, with Flamme and Frieren talking about unfair and how the true nature of demons is, and that Basalt dying. At first I was like, is that like a comrade of something between them? Did they lose somebody? And it makes sense a bit later on, and with Flamme describing how demons don't play fair, so we have to be even more unfair. And I love that mentality, especially when you're facing something like the way demons are here, and even in general, sometimes you have to play their game, even though it's unfair, it's cowardly, is whatever. If it means winning, you have to do it. You have to be that person there, and for this reason Flamme is quickly becoming one of my favorite characters in Frieren here. But back in the present, Lugner dying, and him I think he had an epiphany when he was dying there, also thanks to Fern, him saying, I think Frieren is not gonna have a chance against Aura, she has less mana. And here, but Fern knew, and she has more than faith in Frieren, and he realizes something is off, and it clicks for him. We don't know exactly what it clicks for him, but then you can kind of understand it a bit because of how they showed Fern and her mana aura there, and him saying, Fern has small mana, so to say, not a lot of mana or magic, however you wanna call it, seeing her aura there, and it clicks. So they've been hiding their power, kind of like DBZ suppressing your energy, and a lot of series suppressing your reactive bleach and everything. But here it feels a lot more impactful. Like there's a lot of series you have this concept of hiding your power, but because of the way demons and their society works, this is kind of like their crocs, like their big kryptonite and weakness. And this is why Flamme is a genius. We're gonna get more into that, and he realizes, but it's too late. He dies, and we see a bit of the flashback with Flamme in an elf village completely destroyed, and Basalt was one of the generals of the demons, Basalt the Throne. He was killed by Frieren. As such, a young age there, she basically lost her entire family, village, people she cared for, but she still fought. Even though she was close to dying, she still killed Basalt, and Flamme sees her mana, it's huge, like really big. But also I really like how she thinks. Why did you go after him directly? Do anything in your power, as cowardly as it is, run away, doesn't matter what, just don't face them directly here. And Frieren knew, kind of like saying, but you should understand this, you are a strong mage, also stronger than me. And this is how Flamme got interested into Frieren. We see their first meeting there, and also kind of sad a bit, because if you think about it, even for Frieren, I don't think the only reason that why she's not so open with emotions has been her long life being an elf and everything, losing her entire family and everything there, and the guilt that she has on herself, saying that she couldn't protect anybody no matter how much she fought. And Flamme said you should have run at that point, and this is how Flamme takes her as an apprentice, or kind of kidnaps her a bit. That was such a fun scene. Hey, I volunteer you to be my apprentice from this moment forward, which saved her life, because Frieren probably would have died alone there. Now they're being followed, and the demons quickly reveal their presence when they realize they are both mages, because demons have pride in their magic, and they just wanted the elf. They didn't care about Flamme, just leave the elf behind and you can go. But also Flamme this year starts revealing the weakness of the demon, saying, I also know what it means to be prideful, confident, and also overconfident. I'm paraphrasing a bit, into your magic and everything, referring to the demons and herself, and just nukes them away. I'm like, okay, I know she's gonna do something. There's no way she's gonna leave Frieren behind and just obliterates all of them there. And you see how much mana she has. Like, Flamme is insane, even more considering she's a human. She's not long-lived, either demon or elf or a dwarf or any other race. She is a human there, and probably a genius magician here. And we see her way of fighting: deceive and kill them cowardly. And I love characters like this. Do anything and everything it takes to win. And here we see the beginning of the training for Frieren, and also reveal that Flamme lost everything to the demon. So I'm curious if we're gonna get more flashback like this with Flamme, because she's such an awesome character. Maybe find out more about her backstory, everything in the transition with the time. And are we gonna see her in that paradise? I really hope so. I would love to have a reunion between Flamme and Frieren. But here we see them talking a bit about magic, loving magic. So let's just be the only ones that become the coward of magic. Now here the training is basically to learn to limit your mana, to conceal it, to suppress it constantly here. Kind of like the way they did it in Demon Slayer a bit, with breathing, always having that breathing on. Here also always doing that thing constantly until it becomes natural for you. But it was very easy for Frieren to do it. That wasn't the problem. Doing it, everybody can do it very easily. Even the demons were doing it. The problem comes when you maintain it, because even Frieren had issues with that. It's gonna be a tough road ahead to get used to it. Now do it for life. Flamme, I love it, Flamme, so much, just to fool demons. And we're gonna get more to that. Now we have Aura versus Frieren, and I love characters that are overconfident, like they know they're gonna win, the arrogance, the everything is going my way, there's no way you're gonna win, but then you know in the back of your head they made a grave miscalculation there. And Aura was in that position, but she didn't knew it. She thought, yeah, I had Frieren use her magic, everything is going according to my plan. Starts using the skills of obedience, and apparently Aura also has a lot of magic, which of course was very obvious. She has also trained for 500 years, uses the skills, but we don't see the instant result. And this is why I love this, how they handle this episode. It's a bit of a flashback and the reveal, the big reason. Frieren asking Flamme, why don't demons suppress their own mana? And I really like the comparison there. Now, demons are individualists, but even then they still form some sort of connections and order and hierarchy. Now, the importance of status. And I love the example used there. We also do this in real life. Humans throughout history have put a lot of value on status, be it rich, be it a position, be it whatever. You can tell when somebody is more important by their status, wealth, money, anything there. Now, the demons do the same thing, but not with gold and things like that, with their power, with mana. So that's how their society works. Everybody is a slave to something, no matter what. Everybody is. And mana is just like wealth, but for demons here. So that's how their society works. Now, what is great, we see a bit of transition there. 3 years for Frieren to training with suppressing mana, and more and more, just getting more used. And then even more later in life, we actually see old Flamme, like she's an old lady right now, asking her, do you still love magic? Somewhat. That was such a cool moment between them there. And kind of the conversation between them, that she taught Frieren magic for revenge, but she's still glad she did it. Someday she's gonna kill the Demon King. So Flamme kind of set everything into motion, so to say. If she didn't save Frieren, we wouldn't have gotten this amazing story, everything. They wouldn't have saved the world, and even right now saving more people, Frieren would have probably died, and so many more others would have died here. And she has one request: just plant flowers on her grave, and saying her favorite spell is a spell that creates a field of flowers. We saw it a bit in the previous episodes, and it was taught to Flamme by her parents here. And I love the enthusiasm. Frieren was just instantly, hey, teach it to me. And the parting words there were a bit: never seek to leave your name in history until you defeat the Demon King. And they have done that, and this is where we see the aftermath here. Now, also, after Flamme's death, we see how Frieren was alone, her journey, the passage of time, how things were changing, villages, towns were being built, civilizations, and so on. I really like that. The passage of time is one of the greatest strengths in this series here, but she still kept up with the training. Now we see the first time they met, Frieren, Himmel, Heiter, and Eisen, how they found her just by reputation that there's this mage here. And Heiter was like, yeah, she doesn't have a lot of mana, but it's okay. Now Himmel always knew, and I love that about him, how he always, from the first moment, he knew that she is special. He knew she's stronger, kind of like how Frieren sensed that Flamme was special and stronger. And that's how they first met. I'm curious if I kind of want to see Heiter's reaction when he realizes how strong Frieren actually is. Maybe that's gonna be a flashback. I love, this is one of my favorite things why I watch animes, seeing shocked, surprise faces, reactions when somebody reveals this huge plot twist, this huge power up, this everything is one of my favorite things in anime. And here we have it. Aura, after she used the scales, we see the souls and her being overconfident in her own mana, and she wins it a bit, or at least at the start, because Frieren was still suppressing her mana, thinking, hey, I just won, this was very easy, I shouldn't even have tried to get you tired using your mana. But Frieren just calm, cool, and collected, and all according to Keikaku. I was a bit worried if you would have overwhelmed me with numbers, because that's a very good point. I hope maybe at some point we're also gonna see Frieren kind of getting some training to get the speed up for herself. Yes, she has mana, but also Fern has that speed, considering their lives, how they approach the different things, because Fern has limited time, so to see. And since Frieren doesn't have limited time, that's why she probably doesn't have the same speed. She never thought it was important. Kind of the same way that demons are looking at something like this, and kind of makes you think in different perspectives, which, again, another strength of the show. And here Aura started to get worried, and when Frieren said, it's a natural state for me to suppress my mana. Even demons, they have this keen way of sensing mana, even to the minute details. Even Frieren was a bit shocked when how much, because it's part of their society, and she releases all of her mana. And I feel like I was watching Super Saiyan there. She covered the entire screen area, zone where they were, and I've been alive for 1,000 years. I've been training. And Aura realized she fucked up. I love that so much. And Frieren, just after that moment, is just like, she wins the scales, and Aura, kill yourself, and just lives. Giga Chad. Giga Chad moved. Low tier god moment. Have a nice day. Love yourself. And Aura, shocked, just with her sword, cuts her head off, and yes, Yes, this was so awesome. I love this episode, the scenes, the everything, amazing, amazing. And yeah, this year is gonna be insane for anime of the year, but I'm really curious what you guys thought about this episode with Frieren, the reveals, everything. Last episode we had the huge animation with the fight, Fern and Stark. But this episode, of course, the animation, everything was amazing, but I kind of like the more character focused thing that we got here. This was a more winning over somebody mentally. She broke down Aura, we got the reveals and everything. So let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about the episode. How are you enjoying Frieren so far? As always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Frieren, make sure to check out the podcast Because Anime. Bye bye.